Buenos dias, amigos, amigas, from the suburb of Detroit, from my home again. I'll be back soon, but I want to put up this video talking about the town of Chapala. I have talked about it in previous videos, and I put up a lot of hundreds of videos from the Lakeside area and all the towns, and maybe at least couple hundred videos, at least, maybe more from the town of Chapala itself. But I want to talk a little bit about why, and I have talked about it in previous videos, why people are choosing Chapala. People coming down, some people are in Ajijic now, they're making a transition to Chapala, and there are, as I mentioned in other videos, there are a lot of expats who have already been living in Chapala for decades. And their preference is Chapala. You'll find out that a lot of expats' preferences will be in other towns, primarily Ajijic and San Antonio, and all the other towns in Lakeside. But Chapala is a pretty good place as well. And I'll tell you, I spend a lot of time in Chapala. The hundreds of videos that I put up in the past 18 months or so will substantiate that. I've been all over the town of Chapala. Now, I want to talk a little bit about the cost of living. Now, I don't have a breakdown. I don't know how much it would cost a single person or a couple to live in Chapala. I did mention another video channel that does do that. It's been around for a long time, but I don't really know it myself exactly. But I do have pretty much of a gauge on what it costs to live in Chapala a little bit, and that's because of spending so much time there. I eat in restaurants there. I use the transportation there. I shop. I buy art there. I go to the fruit markets. I go to the grocery stores. I'm a member of the American Legion for 3.5 years. I do quite a bit in Chapala, so I go out to the Malacan a lot and go. I've been to dozens of restaurants in the town of Chapala. Been to the Park at Christiana. I know quite a bit about Chapala. So that's just some of the things. But I'll tell you a little bit more about the transportation. You can get back and forth through all the lakeside towns using it's an excellent bus service. It runs probably, as far as I'm aware, it runs around 6 a.m., maybe a little earlier, all the way up till about 10 p.m., going all through the lakeside area. So the bus system is a good, inexpensive form of transportation to get through the towns. Taxis are another one you can get back. So if you're choosing to live in Chapala, you could always visit the other lakeside towns such as Ajijic and San Antonio, where most of the expats gravitate. Once again, they go to live in other towns as well. But that's one thing. So you have good transportation. Tell you the taxis run pretty good. You can catch Ubers. There's a bike path too. So you can bus it, bike it, drive it. You can also use taxis and get around back and forth to all the towns. So Chapala is a good place to be as well. Okay, one thing you're going to find out now, there's a lot of great markets and fruit and vegetable markets and stores like that. But before I get into that, I'll tell you I've done also a lot of videos on the Malecans all over Chapala and done a lot of expat interviews. People who are snowbirds and also people who choose to live there. Now, people who they find apartments in Chapala. They also buy homes in Chapala. I don't cover much about homes. I never talk a lot about buying a home because I own a home up here in Michigan. I have my own home, but I don't have a home in the Lakeside area. So I always refer people to talk to expats who own homes in the Lakeside area. Okay, now, some of the things you're going to have, and I got a list here. I don't have them all. I had another list. I'll get to this one the best I can. When you're looking for apartments, if you're looking for apartments in Chapala, you're not going to find as many. You will find some condos and apartments with swimming pools, but they're not going to be as much as, say, the Ajijic or the San Antonio area or some of the other towns. And I know because I've been spending a lot of time in Chapala, in the Lakeside area for 3.5 years, and I get around to Chapala quite a bit. But you can find some few and far between, but not as many as the towns, say, of the other towns. Okay, what you're going to have there is a lot of people love living in Chapala, going to Chapala because of the infrastructure. Ajijic is a great place to be. I love it. I live in Ajijic. I've been living in Ajijic on and off for the last 3.5 years. I frequently come up to my home. I love it. Ajijic, without a doubt, put up hundreds of videos and can substantiate that through the videos. But I do also love the other towns in Lakeside. What I want to tell you is that before I get into restaurants, I want to talk about the accessibility. A lot of people who are physically challenged, whether physically challenged or not, like going to Chapala, being in Chapala. Now you'll find out that you'll find many physically challenged people can get around Ajijic and the other towns in Lakeside, but many prefer to be in Chapala because of the wider sidewalks, which previous videos I put up show the wider sidewalks, wheelchair accessibility as well, and also wider streets. You're going to find wider streets. Now, in Central, you're going to find less cobblestone streets, which means you're going to find cobblestone streets, but in Central, you're going to find, and even near the bus station, the streets are much smoother. They're more, let's say, walkable, and you'll find that. Not to say you can't get around. You can, but it's going to take you a little bit more effort. Now, one other thing is the parking, and I've known that before owning a car down there. I took transportation quite a bit, and that's substantiated in the videos, all types of transportation, but you'll find getting in and out of parking spots is going to be a lot easier in Chapala. You can find some good places in Ajijic and the surrounding towns, but when it comes down to it, wherever there's a need for a lot of parking, you're going to find Chapala easier because of the wider streets, and also they have on the main highway there going through the town of Chapala, Francisco Madera Avenue, and along the Malecon, there's diagonal parking. And I'll tell you, you go there and try to experience it for yourself and find out if Chapala is a better fit for you. I'm not making decisions. I'm not telling you where you should move. I'm just giving you information based on what I know and also from my personal experiences. Now, going in and out of those spaces are much easier. They're diagonally parked. You have them all around outside of the Malecon. You're going to have parking all over. You're going to have up Francisco Madera Avenue, all the way up towards Soriana. There you're going to have diagonal parking going up that way. And for me, it's a lot easier getting in and out. Okay. Another thing, being that the streets are once again wider. Okay. But once again, Ajijic is a great place. I always tell people that they should go wherever they would prefer to go. Now, overall, the rents, you can find higher end rents there, bigger apartments, and you can find some really small ones that are very reasonable as well. But I'll tell you that finding apartments with pools, to get a pool, like, they're not going to be as many in the town of Chapala as some of the other towns. So Ajijic and some of the other towns might be a better bet if you're looking for a pool. You can find condos to rent in Chapala or apartments with pools, but there's not going to be as many. Okay, I live in Ajijic, and I love all the towns in Lakeside. My apartment complex or gated community has a pool, but if you're looking, I put up videos about a hotel that has daily use of a pool from 10 to 6 for only, say, 150 pesos, and that's the whole use of the pool, the hot tub, and they also have pickleball courts on site there you can use from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day of the week. And it's beautiful, lakeside views, being in the pool there. And should make this into 2 videos, but I'm going to keep going, so hang with me, because this is all important. The American Legion. You're going to find the American Legion there. You don't need to be a member to join the American Legion. Everyone is welcome, whether you're a Mexican resident or a veteran. It doesn't matter. You're all treated equally. You can go there. It's a great place. Okay, I'll tell you a little bit. There's banks there. I use the ATMs there. They're pretty good. You have them. You're going to have big department stores, which I have shopped at. I've done a lot of shopping in the last 3.5 years in the town of Chapala. There is a place called Chapala. That's a department store. They have them in Acotepec, and they have them in Chapala. Chapala, you're going to have Electra, their department stores. You're going to have a big supermarket there, Soriana's, and you're going to have a lot of other things. You're going to have a lot of good restaurants. You're going to have some that are lower price restaurants, mid-range, and there are some high-range restaurants you might be looking to go to in the town of Chapala as well. There are some that appear, and they are very nice. The decor is very good also, but they might be at a lower range in price. Go to Ajijic the same way. A lot of good restaurants. Okay. Another thing, you're going to find banks there you can use. You're going to find a big park there as well. Along the Malecon, it's called Parque de Cristiana. There's tennis courts there. There's a small soccer field there. And also, there's a basketball court. I've been on the basketball court, did a video from there. I do go play tennis here occasionally, but I haven't shot any videos at the court yet. Okay, you're going to have a golf course in the town of Chapala. It's just outside of Chapala. It's a very popular course. It's a big course. They do have golf carts, and you're going to find golfing as well in Chapala. So another thing you're going to find is if you go along the Malecon there, and I've shot videos doing expat interviews, and I ate quite a bit. There's a certain end, the east end of the Malecon has tons of restaurants, and even beyond that, going all the way to one entrance near Christiana Park, there's lined up with restaurants. There's going to be lined up with restaurants right as you go outside of the Malecon, on the other side of the street, lined up with restaurants. I've been to every one of those just about. And then on the other side, the other Malecon, over there, you're going to find a lot of restaurants there. And I've been to those too. Beautiful Malecon, easy accessibility. You don't have to go up and down a hill to get to the Malecon or walk over any cobblestone roads. So a lot of people like that because they're physically challenged. And it's beautiful. All the Malecons and Lakeside are beautiful. Ajijic included, and all the other towns. but a lot of people find easier access getting back and forth to that Malecon and the Malecons in Chapala. There's a small one just before you get downtown. I'll put videos up on that. I have in the past. And so Malecons are pretty easy to get around to. You're going to find less people speaking English in the town of Chapala. That deters some people, but you don't need to know English to live in, Spanish. You don't need to know Spanish. It always helps, but you can get by without knowing English, okay? Spanish, rather. And there's there are a lot of Mexican people that also do. They speak English, so you're not going to be completely lost. You have other expats. Once again, you have the American Legion. You're going to have a lot of dining places in Chapala, good restaurants to all kinds of things like that. Fruit markets, once again. Music, you're going to find music, and you're going to find Mexican traditional music in the town of Chapala, but you're also going to find at least a couple venues. There's quite a few venues that have music. Now, a couple of them where a lot of expats more is the El Patio restaurant downtown, okay? I've seen a lot of videos from there. Another place is the American Legion. You're going to find great music there, too. There are other places along the Malecon. You can find music. A lot of restaurants all up there, those strips, all along the Malecon. Easy access, but you will find music in Chapala. Okay, let me see. There's boats. You can go on boats in the town of Chapala. There's some people, they get on a boat. You can get boats at most places, most Malecons in the Lakeside area, but Chapala is one of them. You can get on boats there. A lot of people like to do that. You have a supermarket there, Soriana's. Some people come from Ajijic just to shop at Soriana's. This is going to be a long video, but stick with me here. There's a big market there, marketplace you can go to. You've seen that in some of the videos I uploaded. It's a great place to shop. You can really relax. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you is that people say this. It's less, although it seems is very active there. It's very active there, and there is a lot of culture there in Chapala. They use the word hustle and bustle. There's more hustle and bustle in the town of Ajijic. So they like more laid-back lifestyle in Chapala. For some, it seems more laid-back, okay? You do have a plaza there. You have coffee shops there. I didn't leave anything out. I know from being there in the last 3.5 years going in, sometimes I spend so much time in Chapala as well as the other lakeside towns, but I live in Ajijic. I often think it's like living that I live in Chapala because I shop there, department stores, I shop there to flower shops, I go to the markets there quite a bit. I've taken buses all around Chapala, back and forth to the lakeside, had an e-bike for 6 weeks and did e-bike back and forth. You can do manual bike, e-bike. Once again, there's a nice bike path going there through all the towns. You can get right up to Chapala. Buses run from around 6, I know as early as 6, up to 10 p.m. You can really get around. Ubers, taxis. Just taxis are out there. There's a couple different spots. You can get taxis. One of the spots is right by the bus terminal, and you can get around. You can go different ways. You can go up the Caratara all the way, taking Hidalgo right to downtown Chapala, or you can get there on the Libramento. You'll be going up, say you're entering or you're right at that spot in Ajijic, San Antonio meets there's the Libramento. Now, one thing I didn't say, and I forgot to say, people find the traffic very congested in the area, certain parts of Ajijic. There is a lot of traffic in Chapala, but the traffic seems, the road structure, the way they have things set up, um, there's different ways you can navigate. And it seems to be, the traffic is pretty, it runs a lot easier there. However, I did put up a video about alternative routes. Like if you're in Ajijic and you run into traffic congestion, because Ajijic is known for having a lot of traffic congestion at certain times. But you learn what times to drive, and I do have put up videos about alternative routes you can use to get around that traffic congestion. So I put out videos, I'll probably re-upload those, showing you how to get out of the traffic congestion in Ajijic. And one of the ways is getting an e-bike. Another way is when I found different routes you can drive on so you won't be stuck in traffic. And I'm just saying the traffic congestion is only there during certain parts of the day. But in all actuality, for me, I find that it's easier to get around in Chapala. Ajijic is great. I've lived there for a long time, and I know. But there are ways you can get around that traffic congestion. There's some solutions. Now, a lot of people don't want to be around as many expats. It's not that they dislike them or anything like that, but a lot of people are finding that Ajijic area and certain parts of Lakeside, there's a lot of expats or visitors or tourists or people coming there, snowbirds, or people living there full time. And some people like to kind of want to be away, a little bit away from the expats. They are expats, and I'm talking about expats now. I'm not talking about Mexican residents. They want to be in a place that has a less foreign population, and they like that. Now, it's up to you where you want to live. Check out all the towns in Lakeside. I recommend them all. You find what fits, but when you come down, go visit all the towns. Take your time before making decisions and check out all the towns in Lakeside. I've always said that. I'll continue to say that. There's a lot of beautiful towns in the Lakeside area I could live in. And now that my Spanish is up to a certain level, I feel that I can live in any town and even across the lake if I choose to do that. I just feel that way, and I'm discovering more and more and more. So with that, tap on that notification bell. You'll be notified of upcoming videos. Sorry about having a long video here. Adios, amigos. See you soon from a suburb of Detroit up here in Michigan. Adios.